Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, we've got a good old-fashioned count-out because it's coming down to the end of the year, and I keep on getting these emails from Sean Ross Sapp. Not personally, it's just because I'm subscribed to Fightful Select, and a lot of times it's like, this guy, yeah, sorry. You know, I'm not hobnobbing with the big leaguers, man.
Corresponding with Sean.
Not personally, no. As much as I'd love to. But no, you know, he does great work over there. And I get all these emails saying, hey, guess what, Steve? This dude's contract is coming up at the end of the year. This gal's contract is coming up at the end of the year. And it got us thinking, we do this most years, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, what can we look forward to in 2026 when it comes to contracts that are coming up? More importantly, who could move companies? That's right.
Yeah.
We want another Lex Luger, Larson.
Well,
Sid.
I suppose, yeah, both great examples. You know, 2025 ain't over yet. Doesn't mean you can't look ahead to 2026. A lot of names poised to potentially be free agents at the beginning of the year or at some point during the year. Maybe, probably, could be. So we're going to talk about 10 names that could, some more likely than others, change companies next year.
We're not saying they're all going to change companies. I think there's a couple that have a really good chance of changing companies. So yeah, we're going to talk about that today. Let's go ahead and dive right into it with number 10.
10.
Britt Baker.
I would say of all the names on here, she's probably the least likely to change companies. She's been out of action for more than a year at this juncture. She returned from some scary health situations. Came back, had a handful of matches. Hasn't been on TV since, I believe, November of last year.
Yeah, the very, very first inkling of a feud between her and Serena Deeb seemingly got torpedoed by Britt Baker just saying to the camera, nobody cares about this.
Yeah.
Or something like
Now, we don't know if the reason she's been off TV is due to creative differences or ongoing health issues, or maybe just want to take some time away from wrestling. She is a dentist as well. So
they make a lot of money.
They do make a ton of money.
They make a ton of money.
So we don't know the nature of her absence from AEW. Tony Khan has spoken a couple times about hoping that Britt comes back to AEW. Most recently on Ariel Helwani, he spoke about Britt when Ariel asked. He says, Britt is somebody that I love and respect who has been in AEW since the very beginning. She's been away at times for health reasons and she has had some injuries. I'm looking forward to the right time with Britt. And I've had really good talks with Britt, who I really, really like. He continues later on. He says, let's see here. And it's going to be the right situation for her and everybody involved. And I want to make sure she is 100%. And that's important to me. I really care about that, the health and well-being of all the wrestlers. And in Britt's case, she could still be a part of AEW, and I expect she will. So it seems,
yeah, her actual contract status, seemingly according to reports, would have it be coming up in about a year, towards the end of 2026. But there's kind of an important caveat there because she's had injury time, possibly then added to the contract, because oftentimes both AEW and WWE will do that. So it's kind of up in the air in terms of, I mean, seemingly there's like a hard date, or you would think on paper somewhere, there's a hard date towards the end of 2026. If you sort of do the math on when she signed, re-signed, et cetera, et cetera. I think she re-signed in 2021. And so it seems like there'd be a hard date, but you never know when it comes to adding time due to injury. Then it just sort of becomes well, I'm sure there's a certain number of days that they're allowed to legally, but like, what are they gonna, you know?
Yeah. You know, and given seemingly that Tony Khan likes Britt, is it going to be a situation where, hey, Britt, I think you're swell. You know, you're dealing with some scary health stuff. That's kind of beyond the realm of normal pro wrestling injuries. So I won't hold you to this extended injury time. We don't know.
She's also one of those names that I think fans would be generally pretty. I know she's got her detractors, so I'm not speaking to you, but she's a name that was very prominent in the first part of AEW's, life. And I think that she's still a name that carries some amount of intrigue, especially, not only if she shows up in AEW, where the women's landscape is completely different from even a year ago when we saw her last.
Yeah.
But in WWE, changing promotions, getting the big rollout there, I think she is one of the more intriguing names on this list in terms of generating interest and eyeballs, at the very least in the short term. In terms of long-term prospects, as always, it comes down to creative. How well can they get on the same page, et cetera, et cetera. But, she did for a moment have a pretty impactful presence in AEW. Oh, yeah. She was the first major women's name that they signed at that press conference thing. And I think there is a lot of there would be, at the very least, some curiosities to, okay, how is this going to work out regardless of where she ends up? But man, I don't know. I know we indulge in speculation sometimes. The big what ifs with this, her match against Mercedes, which was widely panned, and then the bit with Serena Deeb, you can't help but think when her contract is up, I would be personally, given that stuff, even on the surface from what we saw on television and the reaction to it, I'd be surprised if she was anxious to put pen back to paper whenever the contract was up. What say you?
Yeah, I can understand that perspective. Dealing with health issues like she did could bring some new perspective to one's life. And, maybe she's been doing some reevaluation and maybe reconsidering how important wrestling is to her future. That could be a distinct possibility too. She's stepping away to reevaluate. Maybe going forward, not only does she not resign, she just doesn't wrestle anymore,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
No idea.
I don't know. Or maybe she's just like, done what I can in AEW, time to move on.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, could be any number of things. But yeah, so we shall see. If we do see, it's going to be a while. I mean, it could be a situation maybe where she's one of the few where Tony Khan, if she wants out, Tony Khan would be like, all right, you meant a lot to the company early on. I'm just going to let you do what you want to do. Mm-hmm. But that hasn't happened yet. And, like I said, the hard date seems to be, in terms of the actual contract, late next year. So I imagine at the very least, late next year, we'll start to hear rumblings of, is there going to be time added? Mm-hmm. Will she tweet something? Do you think we're going to see her on television between now and we're filming this on December 3rd, 2026? You think we're going to see her on television?
You mean on Dynamite tonight? Oh, sorry.
I mean, between now and a year from now.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe in some limited capacity, but I think so, yeah.
I'd like to think so. I would really like to think so. Yeah. Yeah. All right, man. Let's move on now to number 9.
9.
Very nice. Very evil. Danhausen. So apparently his contract was originally set to expire. I think it's from Fightful. July 1st, 2025. But according also to Fightful, this has been extended due to the injury stuff. Well into 2026. According to reports, this was against Danhausen's wishes, as he had preferred to be a free agent. I was looking for AEW to not pick up his option. Eagle-eyed observers of social media, wrestling social media, will note that this report came right after he had posted a picture of him and CM Punk. I'd love to think that's a coincidence. I would love to think that's a coincidence. But maybe we could put some tinfoil hats on that one.
Who knows? Yeah, he and Phil seem to have gotten close in AEW. Danhausen is a character. I don't know how. I guess it would work in NXT because they seemed a little more open to more over the top characters than main roster.
You know where it would really work? Triple
TNA.
I was a triple
Faction
A.
with him and Werewolf Ed Edwards.
That's just a tag team, man. That's not a faction. Got to
Well, you
put
can bring
more
some other people in.
PCO. Oh, he ain't coming back. No, Triple A. Put him with Mr. Iguana. I don't know if he would want to go. Like, it's like, hey, you want to come to WWE? Yeah, sure. All right, we're gonna send you down to Triple A. What? I like Triple A though. I like it better. I like it better than NXT. Yeah, you make a good point. I could. There's one faction that I would actually love to see him in on main roster.
Judgment Day.
Yes, because Finn Balor loves the comedy shit right now.
Yeah.
Thematically, he kind of works. You replace the red with purple or gray. I don't know. I guess they don't do purple anymore. But like, I don't know. I love Judgment Day. I love Danhausen. His merch is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got a good point, man. I don't know. You know, if they were leaning much more heavy into Mr. Iguana on main roster, which was the rumor back when he was such a, if they were doing that, if there was some amount of variety when it comes to like, oh, are they featuring comedy a bit more? But I don't know where he fits in necessarily.
Yeah. You know, I was excited when he signed with AEW because, you know, especially back then, we'd heard AEW, the door was kind of open if you were willing to come in with creative ideas. And, you know, his debut was entertaining. He comes out from under the ring. But they just never really did much with him, unfortunately. He didn't really do anything. He barely had any matches, a handful.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, he was just more there for a couple of lulls, and then that was it.
Mm-hmm. How about this, Danhausen in House of Torture? You know, there's already the name integration there.
Yeah.
Danhausen of Torture, you know.
Yeah, that'd work.
That'd work. It
Maybe
might. I'm not going to lie. That might actually get me to dust off the old New Japan world.
Yeah.
To watch him in House of Torture. I still need to watch Purge. House of Torture.
Yeah, I was to say, maybe he'd get his own theme pay-per-view then.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. NXT features a lot of weird shit, I think. Sometimes they can. I mean, they feature TNA. So like I mean, they're going to be on AMC alongside Mad Men. Hey, did you hear about the Mad Men thing? They did. See, this is why you got to be on social. They did a remaster of Mad Men, like, you know, visual 4K, whatever it is. But they didn't crop it like the way they had originally cropped it. And so remember the iconic scene. You watched Mad Men, right?
I watched the whole thing, yeah.
Okay, remember when the iconic scene when Roger throws up at the holiday party? You can see the throw up machine operator guy on the floor holding it. There's like a tube going to Roger's leg. I'll send you the picture. It's hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
How does that get by QC? That's what I want to know. I
mean, that scene. That's like an iconic scene. Like, how do you? It's memed so much.
I mean, they're gonna have the scene with the rider mower in the office and see the prop person there like throwing up the shredded paper and foot.
the blood splatter.
Yeah,
yeah, maybe. But anyways, getting back to Danhausen. That's who we're talking about right now, isn't it? Yeah, Danhausen. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with him. Somebody on Squared Circle noted that like his wife, I think in social media, like he's got like a kid, and so they're like, you know, hey, he's still under contract with AEW, so at least he's still getting paid because that's trying times right there. But if the dude didn't want in the contract, then I'm sure he's got his financials in order. He just doesn't want to fucking be with AEW because they don't do shit with him.
Yeah.
So anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the sponsor for this week's episode because we've got a sponsor this week.
We do. This episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by Aura Frame, Steve. Every year with me, it's the same darn thing. I try my absolute best to find thoughtful gifts for everyone, but then I wait to the last minute. So when I actually do my shopping, all the shelves are empty. Mm-hmm. So take a guess what everyone gets for Christmas.
Underwear, usually that's left on the shelves.
Gift cards.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense because those are definitely makes more sense than underwear.
But if you're a last minute shopper like I am, I have a solution for you, an Aura Frame. Last year I gifted my parents, who are always really difficult to shop for, an Aura Carver mat frame preloaded with pictures of the family. and it might be the best gift I've ever given them.
Obviously, because you loaded that with a lot of pictures of best family Steve, me, I'm assuming, right?
Incorrect.
I think probably yes. Actually, I too gifted myself Aura frame about a year ago because my dog passed and I needed something that would be an endless reminder of the love that she would show to me, as she would always like bite me and bark at me a lot. You remember she would growl at you when you'd come over.
All the
that was
time.
my favorite part of you coming over. As you would inch your way in the office, she'd go, "Arr." Anyways, to commemorate that, unfortunately, I don't have any video or pictures of her growling at you, but I do have a lot of other pictures right there. Centerpiece of my shrine to my dog who fell about a year ago. So I got one as well. The great thing about Aura Frames is you can effortlessly share unlimited photos and video by downloading the Aura app and connecting it to the Wi-Fi. You can even add a personalized message before your frame even arrives.
You can't wrap togetherness, but you can frame it. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver mat frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code RAW at checkout.
That's AURA frames.com, promo code RAW. This deal is exclusive to listeners and frames sell out fast. So order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. You can support the show by mentioning us at checkout while you're there. Terms and conditions apply. All right, man, let's move on now to number 8.
8.
Anna J.
So apparently her contract's coming up at the end of the year.
Okay, all right, yeah.
I believe that's from Fightful. Although Fightful does note that the belief backstage is that she will likely stay with the company. But you never know if WWE has interest in bringing her in and, extends a good offer. There's a chance that she might go to WWE. Who knows?
There's this thing that I like about the report from Fightful Select as well. It also states that sources familiar with the situation indicated that Anna Jay's working relationship with Ty Mello remains a significant factor in her ongoing plans. So I like the idea that it's like, hey, Steve and Larson, we're tag team. We're at a place. Our contracts for whatever reason don't align. I don't know. I'm assuming that I've had a lot of injury time place. I don't know. But or you did, and mine is up soon because I'm not like a real physical guy. You're jacked, meat falling off bone if you try one of those leapfrogs, man. So they added time to your contract. Just sideline me. I'm in catering. My contract comes up. Does my working relationship with you affect my ongoing plans is the question. Or am I just like, I'm going to go be solo guy there in the Fed? I'm assuming we were in AEW.
Yeah.
That's where the best wrestle.
One thing to consider, and this could be absolutely nothing. We've seen people who have a connection to Cody recently leave AEW to go to WWE. Anna trained at Nightmare Factory. But her trainer was QT Marshall, so he's still with AEW.
But he's also really obsessed with Costco guys, so maybe that's less of it. She's like, I don't want to be. Every day she shows up, he's like, hey Anna, I got this killer angle for you that I want to pitch to Tony. She's like, oh great, give it to me, QT Marshall. And he's like, the boom. All right, we do a Costco vlog. We go and we try to get the hot dog deal, $1.50. But then the Rizzler's there, and he wants that deal, and there's only one deal left. And she's like, that is a horrible angle. Terrible. He's like, nah, I got it. It's great. Going to be on the kickoff. On the 0 hour /
tailgate brawl.
She's like, which one is it?
Yes.
One has matches, one doesn't. Yes.
And yet they run concurrently. Why is that?
I don't know. It's crazy. But yeah, this is one of those names that I don't know how further up the ladder, if this is important to her, if she's like, hey, you know what? I like my situation here. Yeah, I'm not like in title contention or anything like that, but I like the people I work with. I'm featured. I've been offered a new contract, which means they will continue to use me and pay me money. That might be enticing. People sometimes just like stability.
Yeah.
Or does the game show up and be like, look at what we've done with our women's tag division. It's on fire. And is like, sometimes a change of scenery immediately boosts one's, profile.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the situation. Maybe she's one of the people who's like, my dream has always been to WWE, go to WrestleMania. I don't know. You never know. These days, it's like, hey, AEW seems to be a place where a lot of people are very, very happy, and they don't view it as a stepping stone to WWE.
Yeah.
So yeah. Whatever she chooses to do, I'm sure she'll have options in front of her.
Yeah, I think so as well. Most definitely.
Right. Next up, number 7.
7.
David Finlay. So, like pretty much all the New Japan contracts, at the end of the year, they just have nobody under contract, and they just all re-sign everybody.
It could potentially be a totally new promotion at the beginning of every year. January 5th, the day after New Year's Dash. No, sorry, January 4th is Wrestle Kingdom. The 5th is New Year's Dash.
Yeah, because they're not doing the other thing. Because they used to last year they did like there was like another show.
Oh, the Wrestle Dynasty,
that one.
The crossover show with AEW.
Yeah, and they're not doing that this year.
No, they're not doing it. So I guess on January 6th, all the contracts will be up.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, so David Finlay apparently is one of those contracts that's coming up either at the end of this year or very early 2026. In a recent Fightful Select Q&A with Sean was asked about Finlay's future in New Japan or if he's going to leave. This is what Sean had to say, quote, I think that David Finlay will leave New Japan Pro Wrestling, but I don't necessarily think it will be WWE. It certainly could be, but I think he's going to evaluate his options and see if either WWE or AEW are possibilities. There's always a chance he could stay with New Japan, but I think he's going to make a move.
Yeah, he's been leader of Bullet Club, but it's kind of been like, Bullet Club.
Yeah.
Like it hasn't been the hot Bullet Club.
No.
So I don't know. Obviously the guy's a really good wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how hot Tony Khan would be for him, given that, like, has he been on any of the Forbidden Door shows?
He was on... I remember if he was on... I thought he was on the Wrestle Dynasty card.
Okay. Wrestling Dynasty?
Wrestle Dynasty. Try to remember the Dynasty theme song.
Oh, yeah. If I heard it, I'd recognize it.
Yeah, David Finlay defeated Brody King at Wrestle Dynasty.
Wow. So almost a year ago? Boy, that's a big compromise right there.
I'm trying to see if he was at Forbidden Door in...
So he was not at this year's Forbidden Door.
Yeah, I'm trying to see in 2024 if he was there. I don't think so.
He wasn't even on the pre-show this year. The Bullet Club War Dogs got on. Drilla Maloney, Clark Connors, and Robbie X with Gato. And it doesn't say that he was in attendance either.
It doesn't look like he's been on the Forbidden Door card.
I mean, dude, I don't want to extrapolate too much. Maybe he was given the option. I don't know why anybody would say no. But you got to think, if Tony Khan really had, was like, oh, man, I really want this guy, But then maybe there are options in terms of, well, let's give him a tryout. Let's see, But I don't know if he'd roll out the red carpet for him. Same. I don't know if WWE would either. Or if WWE would be like, hey, we're going to try to get this guy just to make sure he doesn't go to AEW. Which
doesn't his dad still work for WWE?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Fitz still works over there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that could mean something or not, obviously. Yeah, I don't know. He's somebody who, while hasn't brought the same kind of spotlight onto Bullet Club as, like, obviously Kenny or even Jay White.
Yeah.
They were leader. I think he has grown tremendously as a performer.
Yeah.
Since that heel turn. We don't necessarily follow New Japan the same level that we used to, but I remember back when we were watching it shortly after the heel turn, I thought he was doing good work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
He found a way to approach his character that was interesting, and it felt urgent and close to vital. So, granted, I haven't seen what he's been doing lately. I don't know if he's continuing that same path or not. But as someone, that potentially WWE could sign. You know, he would go to NXT, further develop his character. I think he's still pretty young.
He's 32 years old.
Oh, all right.
He's 6 feet, which is on the, that's low end of WWE size.
Yeah.
So that's good. I mean, it's like a monster in AEW. I'm joking.
Well, not quite, but yeah, I understand your point.
Thanks for no selling me, by the way.
Sure. Yeah, but if he went to AEW, I don't know what he would necessarally do.
Well, I have an idea. There's a picture of him. I'm going to text it to you right now. And
is he going to join Bang Bang Gang?
I mean, that's a possibility. If you look at what they did with Jay White, and I agree with you in terms of like how they treat Jay White. I'm sorry. In terms of like Jay White's, Jay White's personality and what he brought to Bullet Club, Finley's not on the same level. But I just sent you a picture of Finley with a Gatling gun.
Yeah,
and I think that would be a tremendous gimmick wherever he goes.
You know, if there's a way that they could like fuse that to his arm,
that'd be even better.
That's what I'm talking about.
That'd be even better. The Gatling gun is part of his arm.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, he, in terms of like, hey, for Triple H, right? Think about what he likes. This dude's over 30, so at some point he's going to be approaching 40. Triple H loves that.
He loves second-generation wrestlers.
He loves second-gen wrestlers. He likes white dudes. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
No lies told.
And
there.
If anybody could pull off just sort of generic dude who loves to fight, generic. Oh man, I did this guy. You could put all the Triple H accoutrements on him. The fucking Iron Cross.
Oh my god.
You could put. What was up with Triple H the Iron Cross?
I don't know.
That shit was everywhere.
It was.
To this day, even on his those 3 custom titles. So Finley checks a lot of boxes. You can Triple H this guy up.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he's over 6 feet tall.
Well, he's 6 feet tall.
He's 6 feet tall. So yeah. I think in terms of, hey, clean slate for Triple H, man, go to town. This could be your dude, Because I don't know a lot about David Finley in terms of I've never seen an epic promo. I know he won New Japan Cup this year.
Yeah.
That's good.
He was the global champion for a spell.
That's right. Yeah.
I think he was the one that kicked Jay White out of Bullet Club too. So him joining Bang Bang Gang doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No, it doesn't. But how many people saw that?
That's one of the.
Here's the thing AEW needs to start doing, and I think David Finley would be great for this. Start doing the hologram thing. Bring a person in to make him your own character.
Oh, yeah.
All right? Don't reference any past. Just have him be a new guy, ideally with the Gatling gun arm.
Yeah.
That's where you go with that.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on now to number 6. Mustafa Ali. His contract confirmed by Fightful Select. Goes through the end of 2025, which is rapidly approaching. That's a TNA deal he's got.
Yeah.
And according to Fightful Select, appears to be keeping his options open as of now. We're told that Ali was welcome back. They're told. Fightful Select was told that he was welcome back to NXT upon appearing there because HBK likes Mustafa Ali. He's jacked. He's been doing the same political thing, which I don't know. And at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't know if this is ever really a good idea because it's just, I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of it, but every time I have seen it, I've been like, I feel like there might be a kernel of a good idea there, but honestly, people are so fucking tired of politics these days. I don't know that it's really saying a whole lot or that it's something that people are really into,
because during his time at WWE, whether it's something that WWE would have on TV or something he would come up with, he was coming up with all sorts of ideas all the time.
Remember he had one vignette where he talked about cops?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where that was going.
He used to be a police officer, I believe.
I think he did. Yeah.
Some of those video things he did were really good and intriguing in terms of character direction. He's a great promo.
He's a really good promo.
He's a great wrestler.
I
was, to a degree, somewhat surprised that WWE let him go because of those two aspects. So I don't know. I don't know if like it'd be a bummer if he was on main roster years ago. At one point was slated to get into a WWE title program against Daniel Bryan, got hurt. Kofi Mania happened.
This close to winning Money in the Bank, and then like Brock came in and did Brock stuff.
Like he was on the verge of some decent success on main roster.
Yeah.
He gets released, and then he comes back and goes to NXT. Bring it back on main.
Yeah, I know.
He's so good.
Oh, remember like when he was like the leader of Retribution?
Ugh.
It's like they could have done with those name with the talent. The names
not
were
with the
the
names.
actual names were horrible.
Yeah.
But with the talent involved and what he was obviously trying to do with that kind of absent creative direction, man, they could have done some cool shit. They could have done some cool shit. But they didn't.
No, they didn't, unfortunately.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, he would be a fucking natural fit for AEW. I'd probably ditch the political thing. But I think he'd be an absolute killer for AEW.
Because he's shown he's a great wrestler. He's got a great creative mind.
Because it's where the best wrestle.
Yeah. But also he seems like he could spearhead his own creative to a certain degree. And I think that's kind of seemingly an essential aspect of succeeding in AEW is an ability to say, all right, this is what I want to do. This is how I see it happening.
All right, how about this?
And if Tony Khan's down with it, then you're given the liberty to do it.
Tony Khan approaches you.
Sure.
Says, screw that Steve guy. He's an idiot. But Larson, I like where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bring Mustafa Ali in. He's
Great
pitching me
move.
this political shit. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Give me an idea for Mustafa Ali.
You want me?
Yeah.
Why don't you ask Mustafa Ali what his ideas are?
I already
He's got
did.
a lot of them.
He wants to do that shitty political thing. I said, no, I want to talk to Larson.
Oh.
Yeah. So come on, pitch something good.
Oh, man.
I know you got something good in there.
You got me on the spot. I'm like
Come
on
on.
5 hours sleep. Come on.
Tag me in. I'll do it. All right,
Sure, Steve, go ahead.
I'll write the email back for you.
Sure.
Just give me like 15%.
So you asked this question with an answer in mind.
You do this. You do an AEW Dynamite at the Mall of America. Writes itself. It writes
It's
itself.
just the first Nitro.
You take the two best things about the first Nitro, Pasta Mania and Lex Luger, and you combine them into one. Pasta Chef shows up in the crowd, gets in the ring, says, "This is where the big boys come to best wrestle."
Wasn't Mustafa Ali, didn't we book him as Light Speed in We Book Raw?
I mean, yeah. Oh, that's a better idea. Bring him in as not Mustafa Ali. Be like, nah, people are tired of that guy. But he's a phenomenal wrestler. Put a mask on him. Light Speed.
Well, he didn't have a mask in We Book Raw.
Fine. Face paint. Let's move on now to number 5, Larson.
5.
Cedric Alexander.
So apparently his contract's already up. It ran through Bound for Glory. So he's been working with no contract since October.
Jesus.
As Fightful put it.
What did he have, like a 3-month contract? When did he get there?
Earlier this year, wasn't it?
Was it like a 6-month contract?
Yeah, I don't know.
It was like one of those weird Leo Rush 46 days.
Maybe. It would be awesome to see him in AEW with Hurt Syndicate because the chemistry's there. We've seen it before. And not to say he would necessarily have to kind of do a carbon copy of what he did in WWE as kind of the wild card.
Yeah,
of Hurt
do
Syndicate,
that because it was awesome.
But he did it so well. It'd be pretty cool to see what they could do with it with a little more freedom in terms of dictating their creative.
Sometimes a carbon copy is a good idea. They did a carbon copy of Hurt Business with Hurt Syndicate, and it's fucking awesome.
I know, and they're super over.
Yeah, it's a carbon copy, but better.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, bring Cedric in and do that. Or bring Cedric and Mustafa in, the heart and soul of 205 Live, and then do whatever that would be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The guy, dude, look, you want best wrestle? Cedric Alexander is best wrestle. That guy is awesome.
Yeah.
Who can forget when Triple H was like, yeah, you guys want to side this guy? I'll side this guy. I'm going to side this guy.
Yeah.
How does this sound to you? $35,000 a year.
And you get to live at the same apartment complex as everybody else in NXT.
We got this whole place on lockdown. Yeah. Now, dude, who wouldn't want to see the Hurt Syndicate be fulfilled. I'm
Fully
kind of
reformed,
surprised.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that like this didn't happen in the first place, and I'm wondering like why. If there was a reason behind this, if Cedric Alexander was like, I want to spread my wings a little bit, I don't even know, or if Tony Khan was like, I don't want just a carbon copy of what they did before, that'd be dumb. Even though Stephen Larson is sitting here being like, that was actually really cool.
He's basically doing Hurt Business in AEW.
I know.
I know. Better, you know?
Yep.
So why not take it to the next level? Bring Cedric in.
Yeah.
Cedric's great. Bring him in.
No,
I know MVP talked about bringing him in recently. So,
yeah.
Because he said you just can't add somebody to the Hurt Syndicate that doesn't have a pre-existing friendship with the other members.
Mm-hmm.
That's a prerequisite,
We thought for sure he was going to show up.
Oh yeah,
whenever that was.
When they first started talking about, we're gonna add a third member or fourth member, I guess.
And they just humiliated Ricochet instead.
Yeah, that was a weird story.
Oh, I like that one. In retrospect, looking back on it now, because they're still feuding, I like that. And I thought the actual angle itself, it made Ricochet look so much like a chump.
Oh, I thought you said MJF.
Oh, MJF, did I?
No, I thought I heard MJF.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. I meant I don't know what I said, but I meant Ricochet when they did the Ricochet thing.
Yeah, that was good.
And they humiliated him. That was hilarious. I forgot about the MJF thing.
Character. Oh,
I blocked that from my memory.
It's so weird because they spent like a month and a half building to him joining. It was like 4 weeks just to get Lashley's blessing, and then within 3 weeks he was out.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know what was going on there. I thought that angle actually had some promise, but then it was like, okay, well, that's not going to work. I don't know what the deal with that was, but yeah, I mean that's sort of like the Hurt Syndicate though. It's like, hey, let's have a match with Swerve. Well, now Swerve should probably get his back, and then they're like, now we're good. Bobby's like, that little guy? I don't think so.
You talk about Swerve's not small.
Compared to Bobby Lashley, he is.
Compared to
everybody's small compared to Bobby Lashley.
Compared to other wrestlers in AEW, Swerve isn't.
Well, if you're sitting there, if you're Bobby Lashley looking around, you're like, God, everybody's so tiny here, regardless
especially now, Swerve put on some muscle while he was out.
He did.
He's jacked.
I'm kind of worried about
more
that.
Jacked.
I don't want the guy to get hurt. You got to change your shit up when you put that much muscle on.
Yeah.
It's like, look, he went away and he ate Swerve Strickland. That's one thing we didn't talk about when he did come back in our Full Gear review. He's fucking huge now.
He's pretty massive. He was putting on tons of muscle before he got hurt.
Did he look at Pac and was like, that's what I want? It's like, bro, I don't know. You got to be careful with that stuff. Putting on that much muscle. It's scary.
I mean, I guess, that might be the new thing now. Bursting at the seams with muscle. As Dave put it.
Tony's like, we got to be more like WWE. You guys can't get taller, although I'm talking to some people about that.
Well, I mean, there's a surgery you could do to make
yourself
taller.
Isn't there a weird surgery
you
can
for
get?
A while. Yeah. It's probably quicker just to add muscle.
What if Speedball leaves and comes back and he's like 6'8"?
Suddenly his femurs are 6 inches longer. It's just all thigh.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, it's so weird.
He's trying to do the same moves, but now he has to accommodate for 6 extra inches of.
But his legs start rejecting the surgery.
Gosh.
It's like a Cronenberg creation.
Oh my goodness.
Speedball, what have you done? You're so slow now, Speedball.
I was like, you try running with 6 extra inches of leg.
Like a baby ostrich. All right, let's talk about number 4. Mike Santana. Man, I will eat all sorts of crow on this one, man, because I thought it was a terrible idea for this guy to walk away, because it really just seemed like he was walking away from lax. Remember, they couldn't even do a proper, they had a match on Rampage.
Yeah. But
before that, they barely even acknowledged each other. It was a weird situation. And I was like, man, your entire name is all built on this LAX stuff. What are you doing? You can't be leaving.
That was Santana. This is Mike Santana, though, Steve.
This is Michael Santana, his passport.
You get the slight repackaging. Yeah. Add first name there. Yeah,
He did what you're supposed to do, though, right? Like, he went to TNA and did what you're supposed to do there.
he reinvented himself. Yeah. He proved I can be a top-level superstar. Like, pretty soon after joining TNA, he was being positioned, at least relative to the feud with NXT, as TNA's guy, the person who's going to save TNA. He brought the title back.
Yeah.
And then lost it to Kazarian because he probably said, all right, I'm out of here. My contract's up at the end of the year. Sean wants me in NXT, so I'm going to do that.
Yeah, that was crazy. That is literally what you do in TNA. You build yourself up to the point that they're going to do a big angle with you without any foresight of what his contract is like. And then they pull the trigger, and he's like, all right, well, did what I wanted to do.
Hey, what if, let's talk conspiracies. What if it's a situation where, they're having these creative meetings with TNA and NXT about how to book this stuff. And Sean and his people in NXT already know, and they like Mike Santana. They appreciated his work going back to the LAX days. It's like, who you should position as the dude who's going to save TNA? Santana.
Dude, you understand that's like probably exactly what happened here. And TNA can't get mad about it because they got a TV deal out of this whole thing.
No, it's going to be on AMC. That's great.
And then HBK is like, what's wrong? You don't like Kazarian? He's great. No, but that's probably exactly how this played out, dude. Oh, man, this Mike Santana guy is great for TNA. And then he's like, wait, his contract is up,
But it worked out well because, Santana has extensive history in TNA with LAX. He can say he's been in TNA for years and years, apart from being in AEW for a handful.
Yeah.
And he can be that guy at the forefront of this battle between TNA and NXT, and you buy into it 100% because of his legacy there, and also because he's a good promo and he's a good wrestler.
Yeah. No, he is. He's all those things. He's a guy that you definitely want. And I give kudos to the guy for killing it the way he has. That's a tough situation, but betting on yourself like that.
Maybe it's a situation where obviously he bet on himself, and so far he's winning. Huge.
He should get a little tattoo that says NXT bet on yourself on his ankle or whatever. But yeah, I think he'd make a great addition to NXT, and then hopefully at some point main roster. He's not the youngest dude in the world, but main roster, that don't matter,
Yeah.
So, anyways, good for him. His contract, like we said, is coming up pretty soon here.
End of the year, yeah.
Let's talk about number 3.
Killer
Kross. He ain't got no contract. He is a free agent.
He's been wrestling for MLW of late, amongst other places.
But he might. I don't know if he's got a contract with them or not. I should not say that he doesn't have a contract.
I don't know either. But at least in terms of character work, presence, promo ability, and having a really good creative mind, he seems like he would be a good fit in those avenues for AEW.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen some of his matches prior to joining WWE, where if he wrestles the style I feel like he's most comfortable with, he could put on some good matches. Wrestling WWE style I don't think was necessarily a good fit with how he would naturally approach his work in ring.
Yeah, dude. Again, it's going to be interesting. And Tony Khan has talked about him. He said, "Is this the one?"
He was on Ariel Helwani?
Yeah. He said Helwani said he thought Kross would be a layup for AEW. Tony Khan said, that's interesting. I'm not sure. I like Killer Kross. It'd be interesting at some point to talk to him again. It's been a long time since I talked to him. It'd be interesting. He did a match with Darby. I like him. That night I had a lot of things going on, but I actually wanted to go see his match. I didn't get to see him that night, but probably would have been a great chance to reconnect with him. He's great. I think he's tremendous. That kind of said to me in terms of I wanted to go see his match. I kind of wonder two things here. Number one, Tony Khan understands what the identity of AEW is and that it's working for them right now. the wrestling is going to be an important thing. Whether or not what he did in that one match that we saw in Future Stars Wrestling would it work?
It was against Mox and it was against Timothy Thatcher.
I only saw the one. Whether or not that would work in AEW is up to Tony Khan, you know? The other thing, and I think everything else that he offers, I think Tony Khan would love that stuff.
Yeah.
But you know this guy is hesitant to pull the trigger so soon after a high-profile WWE release. With good reason. We talked about this the other day. Yes, we did. I think on the Hot Takes episode. Where it's like, do you want to just bring in, I mean, we talk about like Drew McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do with a guy who's fresh off of a high-profile WWE release? You bring him in. It's apples and oranges with Cross and Drew. It's apples and oranges because Drew, it's like, oh God, how do you book this guy? He's so monstrous. Cross is different in that he does bring that character thing that you can immediately start using. And you don't have to worry about nobody's going to be, oh, this guy is so dominant, he should win the title. You know, like losses kind of don't matter to the guy.
Yeah.
As long as you got a story there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think he'd be a terrific addition to AEW. But the question is, would Tony Khan, does the perception of him signing high-profile WWE releases, is he averse to that? And is he averse to a guy who there's a question mark about would the wrestling fit in?
Yeah, those are all good questions. I don't have the answers for those. I think that's only Tony Khan that will have the answers for those.
Sure.
And maybe given that Cross hasn't showed up in AEW yet, going on several months since his contract expired with WWE, that he said some complimentary things about him on Helwani, but maybe at the end of the day, he's just not that interested.
That could be, yeah.
That's entirely possible, which would be a bummer because I think with him, if you focus on the character stuff, because he's so strong with that, he's so good with that, and he's got a following that will come with him to AEW because his numbers on his YouTube channel still do really well.
Yeah, sure.
And you try to, if you make his matches character focused, you tell stories based on character and not so much the wrestling aspect of it. I think there's a way you can make his matches pretty darn compelling.
He's a guy he's a character that preys on people's insecurities and doubts. And right now they got a world champion who's rife with, former world champion who is rife with insecurities and doubts. And I think that could be a really, really fun program for Hangman Adam Page to get, a pretty good win over this guy if they brought him in that capacity. And I don't think it's a bad thing for Cross to come in that capacity. No, so I think there's a lot to do with him. But, you and I, we're not the creative minds behind AEW, man, yet. And so it's up to Tony Khan. And if he doesn't see it, I can understand why he wouldn't want to. But yeah, we'll see. It would not shock me if we saw him in AEW in 2026.
Yeah, it
would be a delightful surprise, I think.
It would be. It really would be.
Yeah. All right, let's move on now to number 2. Bayley. So, according to her interview with, I think it was Van Vliet.
Yep.
She said that her contract is set to expire late in 2026, probably around October, because this interview was in April, and she said there was like 18 months left, so it's probably around September, October, November, something like that.
October 2026,
So she also said that, these are some of the quotes here. She said, I think I've done everything I really want to do. Not everything. She said, there's still a lot I want to get done, but so much with WWE, and I've been here already 12 years. There's a huge wave of women coming in that I think are ready to take over, ready to be in those spots. She said, she added once she believed that 35 years old would be the timeline for when she could step away, but she's changed her mindset. She says, when I was younger, I always said, all right, 35 would be my cutoff, because in my opinion, guys can go forever, but it's not that cute when you're a woman and you're 35. But now that I'm 35, I'm just like, oh, we're all way past that, and we're still main eventing, we're still doing red carpets, all this stuff. People still care about us. That's a really good point, because if you look at Becky Lynch and Charlotte and Asuka, they're 3 of the most relevant people in the company right now, and they've done everything.
Yeah.
So they're able to approach the women creatively in the same way they've been able to approach, the Ortons, the Cenas, the dudes who have done everything and are still just hanging around. So that's a different landscape. I also saw a quote from somewhere, and I don't know where exactly. It was another show where she had basically said she looks at the stuff Mercedes does, and she's like, I don't know if my body could go through that.
Yeah.
So it could be a matter of she re-signs a lighter schedule and with WWE, which is better on the body. Does she have the same ambitions outside of WWE that a Mercedes would have? Those are all questions that she's going to have.
Yeah, that's for sure. And if it's a situation where, she feels like I've done all I can do in WWE or most of what I can do, and with Mercedes, obviously there were some creative differences, but it seemed like she looked out the wrestling landscape as well and thought, there's so many matches that I could have that would just make me, Mercedes, happy.
Yeah.
To go and be my own boss, and go out and wrestle all these people whose work I really admire.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that Bayley has to do a comparable traveling schedule that Mercedes does now, because she's going all over the world winning titles at this point in her career.
Yeah.
And as rough as wrestling is, I would think that level of traveling plus wrestling, that's the hard part.
Well, there's also the matter of, like, Mercedes left for a damn good reason. She was sticking to her principles. She didn't like how she was being used. She didn't like how the tag division was being used. Vince was still there. I think Laurinaitis was still there. And she was like, fuck this, I'm out of here. And she had a chip on her shoulder, which is a great thing to have in that situation, because she went out and she killed it. Bayley doesn't have that. I don't think. There's no indication to suggest that she does. She's in that same headspace. So it's not like it doesn't seem like, what does she have to prove? She doesn't have to do this. And it's like, if you don't, I'm sure she could probably get an agent to take care, because I'm sure Mercedes doesn't, I don't know, but like, I'm sure Mercedes has people that takes care of her bookings for her.
I would think so, yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Could be wrong about that, but I don't know. But like, why would you upend everything for the grind? As much of WWE is a grind, doing Mercedes, that's a fucking grind.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a whole other thing, and I just don't know why, especially if you look at Becky and Charlotte. It's like they have managed to keep them relevant and interesting and over with the crowd. It's like, why would she expect anything less, given that she's like at the least on par with them, maybe even better performers than them, both in the ring and as a character. So I don't know what the incentive would be for her to leave would be.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know.
But it's possible, and that'd be a fucking, imagine her coming out interrupting a Tony Storm promo.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Just for that alone would be, holy shit, that is fucking cool. What would she go by?
What was her name in the Indies?
Wasn't it Rose something?
Yeah.
Isn't that where she got the Rose plant from?
Yeah, yeah.
What if she just went by Pam?
Just Pam?
Wouldn't that be great?
It's
like
Pam.
Walter. It's like Walter.
Yeah.
It kind of has a ring to it. It's just Pam.
Pam. Yeah, I think that'd be great. Pam.
What did she go? Let's see here. Her real name is
Rose or something like
Pam.
that.
Yeah, that sounds right. Pam Martinez is her real name.
Yeah.
What did she go by? Davina Rose. There you go. Yeah, just go by Pam.
Pam.
That'd be cool. Anyways.
Pam it is.
We just booked it. Look at that. All right, man. Let's go ahead and talk about number one on our list. Of course, it's Chris Jericho.
Shooing.
This guy's totally leaving.
Gone.
AEW. Gone.
So Meltzer was said recently that WWE has already pitched him creative for his own retirement tour.
Ooh. All right.
Now, if you're watching WWE's product and see John Cena's retirement tour, I'd be like, is this supposed to be enticing, what they just did with John here for me?
Well, I would assume this pitch would have some bullet points, right? Like, and they're not just this is how much you would sell in merch. This is how much the buy rate would be. Or whatever. I don't know. There's no buy rate. I don't know.
Well,
This is how much
I
we
think
would
with
give
John,
you.
it was like, all right, how many dates can you give us? 36. All right, booked.
Yeah.
Which days? This. What are we gonna do? We'll figure it out between the dates.
And that's why if you're Jericho, you say, okay, what are we doing? We're going to figure it out. No. What are we doing? Although, I don't know. Look, man, if Triple H was like, all right, you want to know what we're going to be doing? We're going to be putting a lot of zeros on this check right here. I'd be like, whatever the fuck you want to do, we can do, brother. I'll make it up as we go along.
Yeah. I mean, at this juncture, it seems like it's a combination of Jericho probably doing all he can do in AEW plus
a lot more that he probably shouldn't have done
at this juncture. Yeah. You know, and his signing was essential to the creation of AEW.
Yeah.
He brought them legitimacy immediately.
A long time ago.
Back in 2019. He was the first champion. Go on and on, all the things he did in AEW. Did he really need to win the Ring of Honor title? Not just once, but twice. Probably not.
Well,
especially if the idea is predominantly we're going to put that title on him to see if we can get a TV deal.
The TV deal that Tony Khan wanted, because they were offered a TV deal. Apparently, he just wanted more money for it.
Yeah. But yeah, it seems like AEW crowds were just kind of done with Chris Jericho.
You know,
creatively,
dude,
he wasn't doing terribly interesting stuff.
You know, that's one of the other things that people don't talk about enough. Is that sometimes you just gotta go somewhere else. You gotta do something new, you know? And when you try a million things that are new that just don't work, then just another company, a place where you've got a history, a place where the fans are gonna be super hyped to see you. And that's gonna be WWE. You know, but I still maintain he needs to make sure that those Saudi dates are appearance like dates, because you can make more money that way.
Maybe that's the deal that he's going to do. Then is he's like, I'm not going to sign a contract. I'm going to be on an appearance deal.
Yeah, right. He's like, all right, how much? He's like, I don't know, what's the going rate? He's like, how about this, Triple H? $1,000
plus travel.
Plus travel, yeah, plus
and
gas.
Accommodations in a minimum 3-star hotel.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Well, you think he'll be in the Rumble?
Yeah, that'd be huge. Yeah. The question is, who would eliminate him in the Rumble? Because he ain't winning the thing.
No,
but it's going to be
whoever's WrestleMania match is going to be.
Well, yeah, his first big feud is his Mania match.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be kind of terrific if it was Kevin Owens? Can we just go right back to that?
Yeah, I don't think Kevin's going to be back in time for that, though.
You're probably right, but it's boy, that'd be neat.
What if it's Sami Zayn?
Could be Sami Zayn. Yeah, it could be Sami Zayn. Yeah, that would be good. Because you want Jericho in there with a match guy.
You want Jericho in there with a match guy, plus you want someone who's also got mic skills that could be in there for some decent segments.
Yeah, that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know, if Kevin Owens can't wrestle, maybe he can just show up and be in Sammy's corner.
Yeah. Or Jericho's, for that matter.
There's
a lot of work they have to do to work all that out. But
yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. So yeah, Chris Jericho. I don't know about the Rumble, but certainly WrestleMania. The Rumble makes so much sense, though.
At this point, I would be shocked if he wasn't back in WWE in 2026.
Hey, let me ask you: any chance that we'd see him on the Netflix anniversary show?
That's a possibility. Maybe he is Masked Attacker after all.
Holy shit!
It really wouldn't make any sense. But,
no sense. There's no. I'd be like, prove it. Scale that cage right now. There is no way you're scaling that cage.
Not that fast, no.
Let's see your cheeks. Let's see your cake.
Yeah. Does this cake match what we saw at War Games?
Not the plump cake we saw.
Nope.
Anyways, that's going to do it for the show today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll see you guys around.
Goodbye.